My boyfriend cheated on me with my best friend. He wanted to get back, but I took my revenge. My life used to be intense, bright, and insanely fast, just the way it should be at 19. I am Maya. My story is not about a fairy tale love or harmony. It is a story about how the people closest to you can betray you, and how not to fall apart from it, but become stronger instead. Now let me tell you about Amber, my best friend. Amber was pure energy and rebellion. She was always the center of attention, with wild hair colors, bright pink one day, electric blue the next. Her style was a mix of street fashion and vintage, full of tattoos and piercings. She was not just cool, she was alive, bold, and knew how to either ruin or light up a party. Amber was the kind of person who never hesitated to say the truth to your face, even if it hurt. She was not just a friend, she was the one person I could be myself with, no masks, no fear of judgment. Her relationship with Kyle was basically constant drama. He was the typical, bad boy type, tattoos, rings, cool attitude, but explosive temper. They were always fighting, breaking up, then getting back together. She said she loved him, but I always felt it was a cycle of pain they could not escape. My boyfriend was Jaden. He was 20. One of those guys who seemed calm and chill, but had storms inside. Jaden was always dressed well, a favorite among girls on campus, with that easy smile that could charm anyone. He loved music, played guitar in a small band that met once a week, and he loved parties. Our relationship started like a spark. I still remember the moment he came up to me between classes, offered me coffee, and from that day something special began between us. He was not perfect, but I liked how he supported me during the toughest times. He often said he wanted a future with me. We dreamed about traveling, getting an apartment, even a wedding. We shared plans, dreams, fears. I felt like I could trust him, and that gave me strength. But over time, cracks started to show. Jaden began spending more time with friends, saying no more often when I wanted to meet. I could not figure out what was happening. He became more closed off, even his smile stopped looking real. Coldness appeared between us, but I ignored it, thinking I could fix it. I fought for our relationship, but deep down I felt something was wrong. Jaden was the definition of style, always in perfectly matched sneakers, his messy hair looking effortlessly good. His laugh echoed through the university halls, and a lot of girls looked at him with admiration. He could talk to anyone, teachers, cool students, and always made people feel important. To me, he was more than just a boyfriend. He was my best friend, my partner in a world that often felt chaotic and unfriendly. We talked for hours about everything: philosophy, music, future plans, the smallest details of our day. But behind that carefree vibe, there was another side. Jaden struggled with insecurity. It came out in arguments and distance. He did not like showing weakness, so he shut himself down. I tried to support him, but sometimes he just pushed me away, like he needed to be alone with his thoughts. Still, I believed our love was stronger than anything. We both dreamed of a future together, an apartment full of books and music, traveling at sunset, quiet nights spent together without needing to talk. But slowly, our conversations got shorter. We met less. Jaden stayed out later, did not explain where he had been. I started feeling the cold between us grow like a shadow. One day, after a long day at work, I waited for him at our favorite coffee shop, but he never came. No calls, no texts. When he finally showed up, his eyes looked distant, and his excuse was weak. I tried not to show how much I was worrying, but inside, fear kept growing, that our us was falling apart, and I could not stop it. Friends told me I deserved better, that he was not worth it, but I was stubborn. I held on to our love like it was a lifeline. That time in my life was a mix of hope and anxiety, light and shadow. I did not know it would all end with the most painful lesson I had ever faced. The morning did not start how I wanted. I woke up with a heavy head, like I had only slept half an hour. Outside, the sky was gray, rain hitting the window, and even the light in the room felt tired. The first thing I did was check my phone. A dry, "good morning" text from Jaden. No heart, no smiley. Just text. It felt cold. But I pushed the thoughts away. Maybe I was overthinking. I drank the cold coffee I had left from yesterday. No energy to make a new one. Perfect start to the day, right? In the bathroom, I looked in the mirror and thought, why do I look like I am 40? Then came work. Or more like a mountain of tasks I had no energy or motivation for. Every message in the work chat made me panic. One ping, and I wanted to run away. Jaden did not text for hours. And I started eating myself up inside again. He is busy. That is normal. He has a life too, I told myself. But deep down, I was already spinning. The whole day felt off. People were annoying, streets too loud, even the air felt heavy. Everything irritated me. I remembered that we had plans to go out for dinner that evening. We had not spent real time together in a while, and I was actually looking forward to it. It was supposed to save the day a bit. But something in me already knew that evening would not go the way I imagined. I got dressed, did my makeup, not for him, for me. Just to feel alive again. Looked in the mirror, I looked okay, but my eyes looked tired. While waiting for him at the cafe, my heart started beating faster. My gut was screaming, but I still tried to think logically. Though, something was not right. After that evening when everything broke, I kept replaying memories in my head. And only then did I start to see what I had not noticed before. It had all been right in front of me. I was just blind. Or maybe, too trusting. Amber was my friend. My best friend, or so I thought. We had been friends since first year. Partied together, slept over, shared the dumbest thoughts. And before I even started dating Jaden, she knew everything about him. She was the one who showed him to me. Said, "This guy is so your type. Perfect vibe for you." We even laughed about it. And a week later, he sent me a direct message. And that is how it started. But here is what I remembered. Back when we had just started dating, I noticed the way Amber acted around him was different. She did not flirt, at least not openly. But there was something in her eyes. A kind of effortless charm. Jokes, a touch on the shoulder, those little, "Oh Jaden, only you could tell stories that funny." At the time, I thought, maybe that is just how she is. Open, cheerful. She was always the life of the party, always able to connect with everyone. But then there were other moments. For example, when I got sick and could not go to one of our friends' birthday parties, Jaden went alone. I asked Amber to keep an eye on him so he would not drink too much. She sent me a photo of them sitting together and laughing. I replied, "Looks like fun, I am getting a bit jealous," face with tears of joy. And she wrote back, "We are just dying from his dumb stories, do not be jealous." And now, after everything, I remember that emoji. There was something in it. A kind of ugh, you have no idea. Maybe I should have noticed back then. But you know, when you trust people, you do not see what is between the lines. I remember a moment that should have made me stop, scream, stop inside. But instead, I smiled and even took a photo of them with my phone. We were sitting in the park, 6 of us. A warm Saturday, one of those weekends where you feel like you need nothing else but to live. I had gone to the coffee stand, and as I was walking back, I saw Amber sitting close to Jaden, leaning toward him. She whispered something in his ear, and he laughed. They looked comfortable. Too comfortable. I even posted it on my story and wrote, "My favorite people, red heart." Funny, right? I was recording them cheating on me, and I had no idea. Now I remember another evening. We had gathered at Jaden's place for a little house party. Just close friends. I was standing in the kitchen, talking to someone about college, when I suddenly heard Amber's voice from the other room. She laughed and shouted, "Jaden, you are so silly, stop it." Back then, I thought they were just messing around. But now I know. That was flirting. Open flirting. Just not directly, not in front of me. They were playing the nothing is happening game. Then there were their accidental run-ins. She would say, "Oh, I saw Jaden near the gym today. We chatted a bit." Okay, but why are you telling me like it is something important? I used to think she was just being honest. Now I think she was bragging. And, God, how blind I was. One time I left my phone at Jaden's apartment. I asked him to check if it had fallen behind the couch. He sent me a picture and wrote, "Look what I found." But at the top of the screen, part of a chat with Amber was visible. Just a fragment. Her name, and the last message. When are we finally going to tell her? At the time, I told myself it must be a misunderstanding. Maybe it was not about me. Maybe it was a joke between them and someone else. Maybe. I just did not want to see. It was a Wednesday. Just an ordinary, boring Wednesday. I was sitting in a cafe near the university, finishing some dull homework. Jaden had messaged me in the morning, saying he was busy, that he had a lot to do with a friend, so we would not meet that day. I was calmly drinking my coffee, already forgetting about that message, when Lena walked in. She saw me, came closer, and said, a bit surprised, "Oh, you are not with them?" I looked up and asked, "With who?" She sat across from me and said she had seen Jaden and Amber on the rooftop of the parking lot across the street. They were taking pictures together. Then Lena opened her phone and showed me a story. On the screen, I saw Amber wearing sunglasses. She was smiling. Next to her, Jaden. His hand on her back. The caption read, "Moments you never want to forget, yellow heart." In that moment, it felt like something cold touched my spine. Everything inside me tightened. I did not say anything to Lena. I just smiled and acted like I did not care. But in my head, everything was already spinning. He had lied. He said he was busy. And instead, he went off with her. They were spending time together. Hugging. Laughing. And said nothing to me. That evening, I stayed silent. I did not ask questions, did not start a fight. And later that night, he sent me a message. "I am sorry we could not meet. I am just really tired. I love you, Red Heart." I sat in the dark holding my phone. And at that moment, everything became clear. No one needed to explain anything anymore. That evening, something inside me just shut off. I was sitting in my room in pajamas, staring at nothing, holding a mug with cold tea. I wanted silence. I did not care about calls, messages, or news. Everything felt empty. Then the phone rang. The name on the screen made me tense up. It was Travis, Jaden's friend.